already having issues. Everybody hear me? Let me know if you can hear me or not. Ha ha ha. Everybody like my blue owl? Yeah, I got some pretty candlesticks there too, and they're supposed to be, the candles have batteries in them, which I thought would be a good idea, but it eats through batteries like crazy. So I finally quit replacing the batteries and they're just there for decor. So I'm trying to get my computer up here too, so I can listen to y'all and type at the same time. And trying a different little setup here to see if it works better than the last fiasco we had. Okay, I'm trying to get all set up. Give everybody time to get in here. Okay, what's my computer doing now? Okay, I think I got it back up going, guys. Okay, so y'all can hear me now? Okay, so Heaven Gates, you're here and you got a wrench. Eddie's here, he's got a wrench. So if people start misbehaving really bad, or they start saying nobody died, then y'all have my permission to kick them out of the room. So when I was watching Eddie's live stream the other day with in it, it was pretty cool. I saw that little owl and I thought, I got that same little owl. So I just figured it'd be fun to set my little owl up right here and we could watch my little blue owl, since I don't really like people watching me. Okay, I'm trying to get my computer to cooperate. Can you hear me? Everybody can hear me? Okay, it's loud and clear. Eddie says I'm loud and clear. Okay. So, I don't know what's wrong with my YouTube though. I'm trying to watch it so I can watch the comments on the screen on my laptop at the same time. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so who all got to watch the Jim Paris radio show last night with Catherine Lombardo and Doug Papa? Y'all hear me sniffling, it's because I still got allergies driving me crazy. I'm going to put a link in here. I'm going to put a link to the radio show in case you didn't get a chance, then you later. Yeah, Jeff, pastor's a female. I thought everybody had already got that memo by now, but guess not. So let me explain. Me and my husband both pastor. We pastor a church. My husband's a senior pastor, and I am the pastor of administration. I make sure the bills get paid and everybody else gets paid. I make sure that everything at the bank gets handled, and I make sure the insurance gets taken care of. I make sure everybody's got what they need, and if all else fails, I scrub a toilet. So when you're the pastor's wife or any kind of pastor at a church, you kind of do what nobody else wants to do if you can't talk people into being volunteers. Yeah, Heaven's Gate. No, I'm not the boss. They just let me think I'm the boss. Well, Eddie, where are you going? Okay, well, if you get back, we're going to try to hold this to an hour. So if you can come back. Okay, Heaven's Gate, if you get too overwhelmed and you need a helper, let me know, and I'll give somebody else a wrench. So I'm trying to see how many people's in here, and of course I don't know how to find that very easily. 20. Got 20 people watching. So out of the 20 people, how many of us listened to the radio show either last night or the rerun of it today? Okay, Eddie did. Blake says me, so I guess he did. am to Bear says she watched bits of it. So anyway, first off, to let you know, we had a couple of YouTubers call in, and they were a couple of the people who were asking questions. So I know who those two people were, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. If they want to show up in here and they want to tell you who they were, then that's their business. But I thought they did a wonderful job asking the questions kind of at last minute, because they didn't have much forewarning to figure out questions. Okay, here I go, knocking everything over. Wasn't pretty, was it? Just trying to straighten up the owl and knocked everything off the table. Okay, the owl should be back on there. We rolling. Okay. So anyway, if y'all didn't get to listen to it, go back and listen to it. I'll put the link up above, and I'll make sure once this is finished, I'll put it in the description. Okay. So there was a call in about Melissa, and I think, boy, as soon as Papa heard something about conspiracy, he just kind of went wacko on everybody there. And I've noticed, you know, something about Papa. He seemed like he used to not be narrative only. And then since, well, I'm not going to say exactly when, but at some point he changed over to narrative only. So I don't know what really happened, but the whole thing, I think, I'm not sure why somebody got to him or what happened, but, you know, so I just kind of wanted to talk about and throw out some theories. If anybody said anything about it being a conspiracy, or anybody happened to say anything about it being more than one shooter, him and Lombardo kind of went crazy on us. Okay, I guess y'all saw that. Dropped the whole camera, threw it all over the place. My brand new phone. I woke up Christmas morning and the button on my iPhone would no longer click. So when your button on your iPhone doesn't work, you can't turn it on and off. Oh, anyway. So I had to buy a new phone, and my lovely husband said, go pick out any phone you want. Ha ha ha. So guess what? I picked out the iPhone X Max. So I got the newest version going on here. We'll see how good it really is. I'm afraid to keep messing with this thing. I'm afraid I'm going to knock it off again. I think I should just leave well enough alone. Okay, so anyway, so y'all put some questions out here, and let's talk about Doug Papa a little bit, and Catherine Lombardo, and kind of what y'all felt about that last night. Kip says, I got a weird feeling about him. Not right. Don Davis Sternman said he was hot-headed. Kip Maxwell said he flipped. Heaven's Gate said he was grumpy. I am to bear. Someone got to him. Money always works. Fawn Spy, he said he had the flu. I missed that part. So Looking through here. Just got here. What are we talking about, Vicki Ireland? Right now we're talking about the Jim Parrish radio show that was on last night. And he was interviewing Catherine Lombardo, the attorney for the um, victims, and Papa. So hopefully you got to watch it, Vicki, and if not, there's a link up in the comments, and I'll put it in the description so you can go back and look at it. It was a pretty lengthy show. Um, very interesting though, but how it just kind of, they really stuck with the narrative. And I've noticed in other interviews that Catherine Lombardo has done that, man, if you go off anything other than the strict narrative, she gets pretty feisty real quick. She did when she was on, I think it was Tucker, I'm not sure, Tucker Carlson, when she was on there with that congressman, senator guy, whatever his name, Scott. And he was talking about he had credible evidence that there was ISIS or terrorists involved. And boy, she that blew a cork right then and there. And I'll tell you why. She doesn't want it to be anything else, because her money bag is at MGM. Okay, if MGM is where her money's at. So yeah, I know from past experiences of being involved with lawyers in a personal injury lawsuit for my son. The lawyers are on your side. They want the best for you, and they will do all they can to convince you of that. They'll tell you don't go to the media, don't talk to anybody, don't do interviews, yada, 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 all kinds of stuff. They tell you don't worry, one day you're going to have your day in court. You're going to be able to have your say. We're going to stick it to them. And then the closer and closer you get, it turns into, well, the only way we may be able to really stick it to them is to stick it to them financially. So we're going to hurt them where it hurts the most, in their pocketbook. So that's kind of what happens, I think, in most of these lawsuits, sad to say. But so we were in a position of, do we continue down this road and make sure our son's going to have the money he needs to be taken care of for the rest of his life, or do we make the choice to just go to the media? And once you get, and I can understand for the families, I mean, when you start getting in a very financial straight situation, you're going to be, forced to make a decision at some point. And I hope they do get their day in court. I hope that they do get the answers they want, but it's becoming more and more aware to me that they're not going to get the answers they want and the justice they want in the truth being told, unless we do it, unless we keep sticking this out. And so I'm going to give everybody a pep talk right now. If you have a little bit of a difference with somebody else in the community, just try to suck it up and look at the very basic main thing, and try to overlook some of these differences. If it's just some minor differences, try to just put it on a shelf, okay? Because I think if we can work together as a community as a whole and figure out a way to work together, not so that somebody gets the recognition, not so somebody gets to be the spokesman, not so somebody gets to be the one with the most views or the most watched videos or whatever, gets to get their information they need for a documentary or for a book. If I suggest, if somebody's going to make a documentary and they're going to make a book, that if they make any money off of it, that they donate it to the victims. And I will suggest that right here and now so everybody can hear what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to go back and read through the comments. So I gave y'all my little pep talk. I think there's a delay in here, so I may be y'all here. I am to bear says they have to stick to the narrative because that's how they presented their case. It's a Charlton thing. Kip says, and really, though, why does she have to have the same name as the sheriff? Yeah, that's strange. Jeff says, fortunately, things fall down. If things fell up, we'd need to vacuum the ceiling. Yeah, I have a hard enough time dusting. If you look real close, you might find a bunch of dust on those candlesticks. So, um, Eddie Smith says Lombardo has nothing to do with her hugging the narrative. I understand that. Was an incredible, interesting question asked about her being involved with the FBI, and that's all I'm going to say for now. Yeah, because what was she supposed to say? Okay, let's just presume that she is. She gonna tell everybody she's involved with the FBI? No, she's not gonna admit to that. Empty Bear says, I think it's too late for them to stray, but that is public, not what they may really think. Yeah, that's true. And Fawnsby, yeah, she did deflect some answers. There was one, I'm trying to remember what it was. She was asked, oh, I can't remember. I listened to it again today to refresh my memory, and I should have wrote it down. But she was asked a question, and she said, "I'm going to have to deflect that to Doug Papa." Oh, it was when they were that when the YouTuber David was asking the question about the releases and wanted to know, were they really through? In her opinion, have they really released everything? And she deflected that question to Doug Papa. Dawn says, Pastor, maybe it's just me, but you sound distant and quiet. Well, I thought I was close enough to the microphone, but maybe I'm not. I'm probably just not talking loud enough. So I'll try to look more towards the camera and talk a little bit louder. Justin wants to know, any idea how many yards it was from Stephen Paddock's room to the Route 91 concert? Yeah, Vicky says the sad part is history will repeat itself. And next time it will be bigger and better. And that's probably true. If it was a terrorist attack, that's what I believe there was more than one person and possibly a handful of people. But I don't think Paddock fired a single shot, in my opinion, on the matter. And I think it can be proved that he didn't fire a single shot. Yep, I saw that. 300 plus yards is what it was. Angelica says it was 400 plus yards. So 400 yards, something like that, give or take. I'm sure that's probably pretty close to being correct. Heaven's Gate says, wonder had he lived, would he be found guilty? I think if you were to ask Tim that question, he said repeatedly that he thinks he could get him off on it. Wasn't it 10? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I thought it was 10. Said he could get him off on it. Yeah, Don David, she did say, Catherine Labar said she was there on Halloween, October 31st, walking through the venue. And she said it was eerie. There were still the vendors, items still sitting out in their booths, and like their cowboy boots and different things they had for sale. But yeah, I don't know if there's any video of it. She may have had somebody taking some video, or I'm sure she had somebody there taking pictures. But if she did it, I don't think we'll see it, not unless it comes up in a documentary somewhere down the line. Personally, I think when you look at Paladin's lividity report, and when you go and study and read up on the lividity and you look at the picture of Paddock,